Killing the pantry moth flying across your kitchen feels like progress, but it is usually the least important thing you can do. That moth is not eating your food. It is not the stage creating the silk, clumping the flour, or spreading through your cupboards. It is only the adult that emerged after the real damage had already happened. And while you are chasing it with a towel, the infestation may still be growing inside a bag of rice, a box of cereal, a jar of nuts, or a forgotten sack of pet food. That is why pantry moths seem impossible to eliminate. Most people attack the moths they can see. The real problem is hidden somewhere else. The most common pantry moth is the Indian meal moth. It is small, with pale coloring near the body and reddish-brown or copper-colored outer wings. You may notice one fluttering around the kitchen in the evening, resting high on a wall, or circling near the ceiling. Your first instinct is probably to kill it. Go ahead, but understand what that accomplishes. You have removed one adult moth. You have not removed the eggs. You have not removed the feeding larvae. You have not removed the cocoons. And you have not removed the contaminated product that may be producing more adults. The moth is not the infestation. It is the warning. Pantry moth problems often begin before the food even enters your house. Eggs or tiny larvae can already be inside a package when you buy it. The product may look clean. The seal may appear intact. Nothing may seem unusual for several weeks. Then one night you see a moth. Soon you see another. That does not mean your kitchen is dirty. It means a hidden life cycle has been unfolding inside food you may not have opened in months. The destructive stage is the larva. It looks like a small, pale caterpillar, sometimes with a darker head. These larvae feed on dry, stored foods and leave behind silk webbing, waste, shed skins, and contaminated material. They can infest flour, rice, cereal, oats, pasta, crackers, cake mix, dried fruit, nuts, seeds, beans, spices, tea, chocolate, powdered milk, birdseed, and dry pet food. But here is the detail that makes them so difficult to find. When a larva finishes feeding, it often leaves the food. It crawls away in search of a protected place to form a cocoon. That hiding place may be beneath a shelf, inside a cabinet hole, behind a hinge, along a ceiling edge, underneath shelf paper, or several feet away from the pantry. So the moth you see near the ceiling may have started life inside a package at the bottom of the cupboard. This is why spraying the room rarely solves the problem. The insects are not all gathered in one exposed place. Different stages are hidden in food, packaging seams, cupboard cracks, and cocoons. To eliminate pantry moths, you need to stop hunting individual adults and start tracing the infestation back to its source. Begin by emptying the pantry completely. Do not leave the products that look safe on the shelf. Remove everything. The obvious package may not be the infested one, and the oldest forgotten item is often more suspicious than the food you use every day. Inspect every dry product one at a time. Do not simply look through the transparent part of the package. Remove inner bags from cardboard boxes. Examine the folds, corners, seams, and sealed edges. Look for fine silk threads, clumped grains, small holes, shed skins, dark specks, pale larvae, or cocoons attached to the packaging. Sometimes the infestation is obvious. You open a bag and see webbing stretched across the food. Other times, the evidence is almost invisible. A few grains may be stuck together. A thin thread may run across the top of the product. There may be a tiny larva hiding inside the folded end of the bag. Pour suspicious food onto a light-colored tray. Spread it out slowly and use a bright light. Fine webbing and small larvae are much easier to see against a plain surface than inside a dark package. And do not assume that unopened food is protected. Thin plastic, paper, and light cardboard are not reliable barriers. Larvae may enter through small seams or imperfections, and some can chew through weak packaging. A box that has never been opened can still be the source. Anything showing clear signs of infestation should be sealed inside another bag and removed from the home immediately. Do not place it in the kitchen bin and leave it overnight. Larvae may crawl out and adults may emerge from the discarded food. Take it outside. For food that appears clean but was stored beside the infestation, you need to decide whether it is worth keeping. When the value is low, discarding it is often the simplest option. When you choose to keep a questionable dry product, isolate it and freeze it for a full week. This can kill hidden eggs and larvae that are too small to see. After freezing, move the product into a clean container with a tight-fitting lid. Do not return it to the pantry in the same thin bag. But finding the infested food is only the first half of the job. Remember, mature larvae may have already left the package. Inspect the cupboard itself. Look closely at the upper corners, shelf support holes, drawer runners, screw heads, hinges, shelf edges, and the narrow gaps where the cabinet meets the wall. Run your eyes along the underside of every shelf. Check behind shelf liners and inside the folds of paper bags. Then expand the search. Look above the pantry, beside the pantry, and across the nearest walls and ceiling. Check behind pictures under the edge of counters, around door frames, and inside nearby cupboards. If you see a small, pale larva crawling across the wall, it is probably not feeding there. It is searching for a place to pupate. That wandering larva is telling you the infestation may be more widespread than one package. Once everything is removed, vacuum the entire cupboard slowly. Use a narrow crevice attachment and concentrate on corners, cracks, holes, joints, and shelf edges. You are not just removing crumbs, you are trying to collect edges, webbing, larvae, and cocoons that may be too small to notice. When you finish, empty the vacuum outside immediately. If the vacuum uses a disposable bag, seal and discard it. If it uses a removable container, empty it outside and wash it. Do not leave the collected material inside the vacuum, because surviving insects may eventually escape. After vacuuming, clean the shelves with warm water and ordinary dish soap. You do not need to flood the pantry with bleach. You do not need ammonia, heavy disinfectant, or a homemade chemical mixture. These products do not create a permanent barrier against pantry moths. The important work has already happened through source removal, vacuuming, and careful inspection. And do not spray insecticide inside a food cupboard. Spray cannot reach larvae sealed inside food. It cannot remove contaminated products. It may kill an exposed moth, but it can also leave pesticide residue around surfaces used for food storage. The correct solution is not stronger spray. It is finding every place the life cycle is hiding. This is also where pheromone traps are often misunderstood. A pantry moth trap can be useful, but it is not a complete treatment. Most of these traps attract adult male moths. They can confirm that pantry moths are present, reveal where activity is concentrated, and help you track whether the population is declining. But the trap does not remove the females. It does not kill larvae inside food. It does not destroy eggs, and it does not clean the pantry. Think of the trap as an alarm, not the solution. After cleaning, place 1 or 2 traps according to the instructions. Do not scatter many traps throughout a small kitchen. Use them to monitor what happens next. If trap catches steadily decline, your cleanup is probably working. If the number stays the same or suddenly increases, another source may still be hidden. Now rebuild the pantry in a way that prevents the problem from spreading again. Transfer vulnerable dry foods into containers made from glass, metal, or thick, rigid plastic. The lids should close tightly without gaps. Cardboard boxes, folded bags, thin plastic packaging, and loosely clipped pouches are not enough. A proper container protects food from moths outside it, but it also contains an infestation that may already be inside. That second benefit is important. Suppose a new bag of rice contains eggs you cannot see. If the bag sits loose in the pantry, the larvae may eventually spread into several other products. If the rice is placed inside an airtight container, the problem remains trapped in one place. You may lose one product instead of an entire cupboard. Label each container with the product name and the date it was purchased. Use older food before newer food. Avoid pouring a fresh product on top of an older one, because that can hide contamination and make it difficult to identify where the problem began. Clean spilled flour, cereal dust, pet food crumbs, and seeds as soon as you notice them. Small amounts of food trapped in cabinet corners can support insects that would otherwise be easy to remove. Then comes the part that causes many homeowners to panic. Several days after cleaning everything, another moth may appear. That does not automatically mean the treatment failed. A cocoon hidden in a crack may already have been close to emerging. Even after the food source is removed, a few adults can continue appearing for roughly 3 weeks. Kill the adults you see and keep checking the traps, but judge the result by the overall pattern. Are you seeing fewer moths each week? Are the traps catching less? Have the larvae and webbing disappeared? A single adult is not proof that the infestation is starting again. Continued activity without improvement is. If moths are still appearing regularly after several weeks, search again. This time, look beyond the obvious pantry food. Check birdseed in the garage. Check dog biscuits in a utility room. Check nuts in decorative bowls, dried flowers, herbal tea, spices, baking decorations, stored seeds, and food kept in another cabinet. The source may not be in the room where the moths are flying. That is the lesson most people learn only after weeks of frustration. Pantry moths are not defeated one moth at a time. The adult you kill is only the final stage of a hidden process. The real solution is to locate the contaminated food, remove every accessible stage of the life cycle, clean the hiding places, monitor what remains, and protect new food in sealed containers. So kill the moth you see. Just do not mistake that for solving the problem. Stop chasing the adults and start hunting the source. That is how you eliminate pantry moths and stop them from coming back. If you found this useful, subscribe for more practical pest control advice that solves the real problem instead of only treating what you can see.